Hi everyone, welcome to the seventh episode of Anoni. I'm your host Kazuki, and with me is my co-host Ai. And for this episode, we will be talking about a post-apocalyptic setting or post-apocalyptic
hmm
discussions.
I think so. Yeah, that's the
Is that
best
it?
way we could just phrase it. Uh,
Okay. So basically, we will talk about what the world that we live in would be like if um if we were to experience a major catastrophe that would throw us into a
yeah.
post-apocalyptic world. So, hmm, what um what are some of the things or events that you think would bring about an apocalypse?
Um, as popular tropes tell us, it's gonna be zombie apocalypse, alien attack, and nuclear. Uh, well, I don't know, something with the nukes, perhaps. Could be a war or just probably just yeah, just
Could also
industrial.
be
Yeah, proud
biochemical.
like industrial incident, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like we're already kind of experiencing a semi post-apocalyptic thing
Yeah,
with the
that's
pandemic and all.
this is the actual
Like,
apocalyptic scenarios. Yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah, like global warming, like maybe something really drastic, like maybe solar
yeah.
flares, non-stop
I
solar
mean,
flares, or something like that.
we could be hitting
Like,
that
yeah,
way.
like
It's
you
just
said,
that
wars.
it's
Yeah,
not as fast as movies made it seem so.
yeah,
We can't
yeah.
yeah, we can't feel that urgency yet.
So like that is true. Unless it's something that's just so sudden that we don't really expect it, like maybe
Yeah,
a
well,
meteor crashing or something.
yeah, probably
Maybe
that
natural
is
things,
more
yeah.
preventable
Or
since it's
like
something very urgent and
nukes.
something we can just visualize.
Mm-hmm.
But for for pandemics and climate change, it's a very slow change that we're probably not gonna notice it.
Yeah. We're not even gonna feel it. I don't think we would even experience it
Yeah,
in
probably
our
like
lifetime anyway,
150, 200
I
years,
think.
positively, optimistically looking.
Wow. That would be crazy. Yeah, can you imagine?
I mean, I can, and I don't want to
Imagine
be
that
in
like
that situation. I don't know. It's
why?
kind of hard. I mean, life as it is hard. So, imagine living in a world where um you are limited with things you can do due to like certain things. Like for now, being outside is, although I'm not a very social person, and I still find it hard to go out because of the pandemic, things like that. So that's just one aspect of it. Remember, if I don't know, if you have a nuclear apocalypse and you can't even breathe at a normal air, you can't go outside, things like that.
Yeah. That is scary. Like even with how we are right now, I mean, considering how many just everything that's happened and like the deaths and all, it's like it's scary to imagine something that's full blown. We probably can't even grasp just how bad
Yeah,
things can get if um if allowed to go
that's
unimpeded
true.
or unmitigated, unchecked. And it's
Yeah,
scary. Like Like what? So let's say that the apocalypse did happen, and like in the movies, you just wake up and all this is just the world is just in shambles. What's
So
the first
you're basically
thing that
Rick
you
from
would
The
do?
Walking Dead on episode 1. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. First, probably
Yeah.
establish
But
communication.
then
Establish to
it kind
whoever,
of,
like agency, people, community, whatever I could get my hands into.
yeah, that is true, but it's kind of like it's hard to really establish how you would make that
I mean,
plan for survival unless there's a set of like it
yeah,
depends
exactly.
on
Because
what
if it's a
happened.
nuclear apocalypse,
Like
probably communication would
yeah,
not be working at all since with also EMP around.
yeah, and I kind of find it hard to believe that survivors would
Yeah,
be
yeah, that's true.
unscathed. Even if yeah, it's kind of like it depends, and if they're really outside of
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
the area where nukes
Yeah.
hit and
Suggest a
there's
one
no
scenario that we could
radiation.
talk
Yeah.
about. So that we could explore it more. Um. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Suggest one.
Okay. Mm, the what's the most
Most hostile or like most
okay, that
probable
one.
life would still be exist after it.
Yeah. Let's go with that one. So we can have
Okay.
like hypothetical
Probably let's
situations.
do
Like
climate change.
yeah.
Climate change. Yeah. Probably climate change would be the best scenario with most people still exist. As for the worst,
Mm-hmm.
we could go
Mm-hmm.
for
I kinda
nuclear apocalypse, or fallout, or
mm-hmm.
yeah, or alien invasion, or probably any other scenarios. Probably. So probably the chillest one would be virus, overpopulations, and climate change. So let's do climate change.
Yeah. Climate change. So climate change. Um polar ice caps melt.
Yeah,
Kind of like
probably
a
yeah.
water
But
world
the thing is that
scenario.
in certain
You
places
think?
it will be flooded, but in certain places it's gonna be like desert. So yeah,
True. That's gonna be like so people are going to be looking for either viable land
that's true.
or
Yeah, and
viable
it will be
water
limited
source.
since it's a changing world.
Yes.
It's either the viable places to farm is underwater or already became a desert at that point. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
land.
that would be kind of what would be the land
Uh,
what would be your
yeah,
main
for survival,
priority
people
like for
probably will need
survival?
food. So land will be a very territorial. Well, farmable land will be very very important. So people will probably just stay together, farm a land, try to defend it, and obviously there will be people who will be interested in taking it over, things like that. So yeah, food is necessary. Probably any land that is available for farming and also close to water. Yeah, so they still need
Mm-hmm.
those water source to farm the land. So yeah, water and land or farmable land and water source would be the most um important what do you say that important things to have rather than food, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So people
Yeah, I imagine like would sea life
probably
be
would, yeah,
affected? I
probably
think it
90%
would.
of sea life will be dead, especially those surface level fish. Probably like deep sea creatures will still be survive, but that's not something we could actually hunt and feed feed on. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So
That is true.
extremophiles
That
would
is
still
true.
be survive. Yeah.
And that's gonna be, yeah. That will be ideal though. So food,
Yep.
water and shelter.
And
Obviously,
yeah, and
something against the
community.
elements, and
Yeah.
then food. You think people will actually band together, or do you think it's more like there's
I mean,
banding and then there's
at the
those
start,
people
probably
who
people will
would,
be just individualized, but as the things get scarce, people will band together. For mutual survival and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Eventually, they'll have to realize that they'll need to rely on other people to survive. But then you
Yeah,
think there'd be
conflict will always
conflict
arise.
eventually.
Yeah,
I feel like there would be conflict. Ways, yeah, kind of sad, but
there will
well,
always be
yeah, it's
that
survival
conflict.
of the fittest at that point. Yeah.
So
So
food.
food. What would food? Oh man, that would be kind of hard. If, for example, you like the community like don't have or is running low on supplies, should do you think they should keep moving, or do they stay in their sheltered place and then do the unthinkable and draw straws to see who will be
That
sacrificed?
probably yeah,
Is
that's
that
that's really dark.
something?
Yeah.
That's dark, I know, but it's
Okay, but
yeah, I know.
it's
It's
it's it
really
it
dark. It
will
is, but
happen at some point probably, but as long as they like have those lands and farmable lands, it's probably gonna take a while before they come to that. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, that would be
but
very
yeah, just to
that would
answer your
change the
question,
dynamics of
depends.
things, I
If
think.
the land is still farmable, probably they just stay. But if the land is no longer like feasible to live on, probably they need to move, and death will just happen along the way. Probably.
What will be the safest place? Like on if let me I don't know if we could pick a setting. Like which part of the world do you think would have the
I don't
most
know.
probability
Probably
for
because
survival?
I'm not sure how much climate change will affect the ecosystem and the biomes. So that what we know right now could not be
Mm-hmm.
applicable during those times. Yeah. So that's kind of
Okay.
hard.
And they'd probably hopefully they'd yeah, hopefully by then they'd figure something out. Like for worst case scenarios, like a disaster prevention or disaster preparedness
Yeah, I
thing.
think that's the reason why they're like building like those farmables without less land or less water. Those crops are being invented
Yeah.
or engineered. As much as people hate
Yeah.
engineered
Like
products, but
genetically
there's a reason why they exist.
yeah, I agree. I mean, eventually we'll have to face the fact that, one way or the
Yeah,
other,
exactly.
something's gonna go wrong. Like we don't really have like population control and all that, and we're not really doing a lot to reverse any kind of adverse changes that has happened prior to our time. So it's
I mean,
getting
if we're gonna
there at
talk
some
about
point,
climate change,
and we can only do what we do.
there's
Mm.
some scientists saying that we are beyond the saving phase for the climate. But the thing is that
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
what are we really trying to do here? Are we trying to save the planet or save the people? Because it's two different things. The planet will still exist even after the climate change.
Mm.
The people may not. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I would agree. There's like
yep,
nature would find a
exactly,
way to right itself. It doesn't really it doesn't really need it's alive in its own sense, but
exactly.
it doesn't really need us per se to survive. It's the other way around, really. So
So
we're
yeah,
here on
what's the
borrowed time.
what's the viable solution for that? Like probably like engineered labs, perhaps to contain life. Like within that sphere, you could just farm and
Yeah.
contain the life that is, or yeah, create
Yeah, create
biomes,
create
move
biomes.
to another planet, which is more hostile.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
still an
that's one
option.
thing.
I don't know. I still want that idea rather than actually staying here on this planet.
Yeah, you think like space
Yeah,
is another world of its own, and
it's
it's
a
got
very
its own
hostile.
dangers, and it's more unknown than what we have. Yeah. I mean, we don't know if it's going to be any better than how
Probably
the
not,
world would
but
be.
for some reason,
Like, what's
it
going to
it
happen to it?
possesses more
But
potential rather than being stuck in the planet. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, stuck here. Yeah. I imagine that it would come down to, who would want to go
yeah.
and who would want to stay. And they go from there, like who's willing to
You
sacrifice
know
and
what? At
stay
that
with
time,
these people
who do
and
you think is has
continue
the
to
worst luck? The one going or the one staying? 'Cause it could be both, though.
the worst luck would have to be
Yeah, probably.
the
Yeah,
one staying is they're stuck there with it would just get I don't think they can change what's
yeah.
already happened. They can only like contain and maintain whatever they have, and that's a limited resource. Like until when will they
Yeah.
keep creating, where will they keep finding these
And how
materials
will
and
they
raw
go on? Like
materials
education will
for
probably non-existent at that
yeah.
point. So
And that's even worse
yeah.
because then you need
So
science to keep
you're basically
surviving.
losing all these
You need a
skilled
lot, you need to
workers.
be educated. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be something valued. I imagine like knowledge and all that will be
Yeah, knowledge
very
will be like.
valuable and will be passed on. But then you'd always
Do you
have
see
those
like
skeptics.
a education as like
Yeah.
form of authority at that point? Since probably knowledge will be passed on from
Mm-hmm.
parents to their sons or daughters. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like,
Or apprentices. If they are able to foresee this part and preserve whatever pool of
yeah,
skilled workers they have, they could take on apprentices to continue the work and uh, help the population survive. But that's like
yeah, exactly.
that's going to be really hard to stay here. Staying here would
And
basically
trying
be
to
saying
make
you're
do
just
with what you
resigned to
have.
live and die here, and you're fine with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But space is going to be something very. I think that's why a lot of the focus is on space.
Yeah,
I
well,
haven't really followed all the all the stuff about that, but I feel like yeah, that's eventually that's where we will be exploring.
it's the final frontier, as they said.
Mm-hmm. You think there'll be mutations, like natural occurring mutations, or will there be engineered, augmentation, like something that would be offered to people to like
I mean,
help them
as of
survive?
now, we could see that augmentation to people. It's not prevalent yet, as it is, but we could already see those augmentations, and mutations will probably take effect in, I don't know, 10 generations down. Yeah,
A long while, yeah, that would be crazy. Like, can you imagine like people just
yeah,
not being able to stand light
yeah.
and being able to see in the dark? It's gonna be because
Yeah,
of
the
all
problem with
the
mutation is that
surface,
you could not control it.
the
So
dangers of the surface.
imagine what kind of mutations you will get.
Yeah.
It will depend on what you need. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything will be like vestigial. Some of the stuff that you won't be using will
yeah.
be
So
vestigial.
augmentation. What do you think? Aug- what do you think is the like augmentations for people like on a post-apocalyptic world?
I feel like uh, augmentation is kind of hard.
Given that they
So
perceive their engineering or like their
probably
science,
something.
because that's gonna be hard to do, and when you don't have that specialty skills.
I think being able to breathe in any kind of environment is going to be
Okay,
one of
that's
the things that they're gonna
yeah.
try and figure that one out. And then how you use, I guess you could augmentations on limiting the need for food and water. I don't know how they would do that. But, if you're in a limited resource, you got to figure
Survive.
out a way
Yeah.
to like slow down metabolism. Yeah. Like we're all going to be snakes and just eating one full meal
Recharge,
and
recharge in the heat of the sun,
hibernating for
things like
like a
that.
month. Yeah. Are we going to be cold-blooded? That's going to be, yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of changes though. Like it's gonna take a long while. So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
survival of the fittest, I suppose.
What do you expect to see in that world?
Oh.
Yeah.
Um. Well. Probably just nothing. Like just leveled stuff, and then the atmosphere. I feel like is going to be very hostile.
Yeah.
Like just the elements alone. Not even just the people. Not even the animals. It's going to be the elements and and you. Like there's the climate, the weather, and then the air, just everything really. I mean, you can't even imagine the diseases that
Yeah.
would pop up when it happens.
Yeah. So, what do you think will the first to regress? Like, what aspect of a human will regress first on a post-apocalyptic world? Yeah.
The first to regress.
Morality.
Um, I think yeah. I think though that's it's going to test a lot of people's
Yeah.
morality. Yeah, their relationships, also the strength of their bonds, and then their principles, and then
Yeah.
their survival. Like it would kick in, but people react
So,
and
how do you
adapt
think would people
differently.
value people on that kind of world, like family and friends? Like, what would the life
Mm,
value? Yeah. Yeah.
man, that's a you know, I'm going to give it to the people who have had a hard life
Yeah.
because they've already been there. You know, they've had bouts of hunger and just hardship. So to them, it's probably going to be easier to make the choice to um, pick a family, I guess, as a means to survive. Because if there's more of you, there's more people to gather food or, you know, help each other. Those kinds of things. And then there's people who have never had like that experience. Like if they've been privileged to live like a
Yeah.
comfortable life, is gonna. I feel like those are the people that would question. You know, am I going to, you know, am I going to like go the self preservation route, or would I share my
Yeah.
resources with the people closest to me, or you know, like probably cut off friends? And are you gonna just cut off just your friends and help your family, or are you gonna cut everybody altogether and just try to make it on your own?
Yeah.
That's
Probably
going
if
to be,
that's
yeah.
yeah on earlier
That is like,
days of the apocalypse, probably you'll survive. But I don't see going forward with as time goes on as
mm-hmm.
like being individual and alone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really, especially if you start losing people,
Yeah.
people that you've, you know, it's one thing to wake up and you've lost people who are close to you already, and versus surviving this world and losing them one by one. It's just
Yeah.
that's going to take a toll. And yeah, you'd probably rather just
Yeah. I mean,
be
at
gone.
that point, you probably wish that you went out first.
Yeah. I think that a lot of people would find that like
Yeah, that's true.
a blessing. This is a really serious and dark discussion, but we're talking about it because a lot of shows, a lot of movies, they romanticize the apocalypse and you know the post-apocalyptic world, and
Yeah,
that's great and all, that's fun and all, but we also lose sight of the
that's true.
reality of things. Like, but I mean, come on. Yeah, when I watch shows and I'm like, okay, how many days has it been and why do you have no hair? Like, you know, do you just shave everything off? What happens to, like, do women still get their periods, or what
Yeah,
happens with that? Like, what's, you know, those little things. Do you get your pills? Do people still
I
think
mean,
about procreating,
how
or
would you
it's just
see
survival
hygiene
all the
in that
time? You
state?
know,
Like, would
that's
you
those kinds of
consider
things. Yeah.
hygiene as like um
Would you?
inconvenience?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Like, will you prioritize hygiene, or, 'cause, you know, are you going to use the water that you have for hygiene, or are you
that's
going
yeah,
to use it
that's
to
true.
drink, like for consumption? Are you going to, yeah, there's those things. I mean, by then soap and sanitizer are going to be luxuries. Having a bath, having
Yeah,
a warm shower even is a
basically
luxury.
everything that we know of will be just a luxury.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then yeah, hygiene. But then with when hygiene's going, you also open yourself up to
That's true. Yeah.
uh, diseases. Because then,
Well,
yeah.
hopefully you'll get like
So
get
what's that's another thing.
well um resistance probably, but that's yeah immunity. But I don't see that happening
Immune. Yeah.
given how frail human body is.
Yeah. It takes just one mutation of a
Yeah.
certain virus, and then you know it depends on how sturdy your immune system is, but by then even your nutrition is probably down. You probably can't handle, if in a healthy body can, but in a post-apocalyptic world it's hard to imagine anyone who can
Yeah.
be
So
like,
what exactly is
optimally
healthy in the
healthy.
post-apocalyptic world?
I
Like,
mean,
how do you consider healthy? Less.
not necessarily
I see.
buffed and with a six pack. That doesn't mean healthy. But I mean, like, a healthy would be, you'd be able to at least, like, survive maybe a common cold, and just be able to have the strength to go through everyday survival. Like, at some point, when you don't get the right nutrition, you
Yeah.
lose like muscle mass and all that, and then yeah, so it's kind of hard to imagine. Like, you gotta have protein. Are you gonna get protein? Are you gonna hunt your food? Are you gonna just try to find protein from vegetables? Or where are you gonna get
Yeah, it's kind of
this and
tough.
that? It's like, it's people don't realize just how, yeah, people don't realize how convenient everything is today. Yeah. I can't even open a jar of pickles. How am I gonna survive in a
I don't know.
post-apocalyptic world?
Um,
I can't even do that.
Stay with
Like,
people who could do stuff.
yeah.
I mean, that's probably the most common thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stay with people with skills.
Yeah, I do imagine like a lot of the people who are, yeah, people with skills, technical skills, survival skills, and then people who are, yeah, they're people who are strong, yeah, will be able to survive the post-apocalyptic wave. And then after surviving that, they'll have to survive continually. And that's another thing, because I
Yeah,
think
that's
luck
true.
also would play in it. Yeah. And then, man, but it's going to be I'm going to find it hard because,
Okay.
one, my eyesight sucks. So unless I have unless I have like a steady supply of glasses with my prescription, it's going to be really tough, because then it could fall, I could lose it, or it could break, and then what? Can't see anything
How would you
beyond like an
survive?
arm's length. That's, yeah. Oh, well, there's are there going to be contact lenses? What are you going to do? Are you going to break into like an optical
I
shop and
mean,
look for your prescription? Like,
how long will
good.
those optical glasses last?
Or are you going to rely on,
They won't last forever. At some point, they're gonna break.
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And will that be your lifeline? Like,
So
your
yeah, you
life
could
is
get
just as long
critiqued.
as your glasses stays.
What I'm probably going to do is get one of those
Oh yeah,
goggles
yeah.
and put it over
Or a
my
helmet
my
over
glasses,
your head.
and just, yeah. Yeah, just so I can make sure that I have that. And then every time we go through like an optical store or something, I'll go check in if they have that prescription, just so I could have like spares. I mean, that's one thing. And then, man, it's rough. Like, if you don't have the strength, I don't know if I have the endurance to like run if something's chasing me, or, you know, I'll have the strength to fend off any predators or other people. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
scary prospect. And yeah, survival of the fittest. And I'm not the fittest. I'm not even in the fitter category. I'm just I'm just barely fit. Barely fit. Hmm. What do you think? How would you will you be able how do you imagine
I don't know.
yourself surviving
I
this kind
imagine
of
that
world?
if I
How would you
can't
go about it?
last for 6 months being alive, like if I could last 6 months being alive, I'll probably survive for a long time physically, but probably mentally I could not take that. So I'll probably take that switch button off at some point, even though I'm physically healthy. Yeah. I'm not, even though I might be physically fit, though I'm not, but given time, I could just lose weight. So, and yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not mentally prepared for that one. Yeah. So you could be
Yeah.
you could be the
Thing
fittest
with
person
me,
alive, but you could be not be the most fit mentally and emotionally for that.
yeah, not prepared. Mm-hmm. I think it would take a special kind of skill set
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yeah.
mental fortitude to like to survive a world like that. That's and you need to be able to do it in a snap and be able to do it every
Yeah, you need
day
to motivate
and have a
yourself
reason
every
for
day.
doing
Yeah.
it every day. Because otherwise, it's
Yeah.
just yeah. Like, what would your motivation be? Like, what would your
Probably
motivation be?
I don't know if I have like people to that is like expecting things from me, like that they need me to continue on, something like that. Because it's kind of hard to disappoint, especially when their means of survival depends on.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably that's the most. Probably
Yeah,
that's the
that's
only
true.
reason I survive for that scenario. But as long as soon as my uh, usefulness no longer needed, probably I'll just find a reason just to end myself. That's dark, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be um one thing. Like, so what if you wake up and it's just you versus, you wake up and there's like a group of people that you encounter every
okay.
couple of days or so. I think it would really be scary
Yeah,
to just be
probably,
so alone.
yeah, probably.
It depends.
But the thing is that if you don't have anyone else, it might change your mindset. It might give you a reason to live because um, you're presented in a world where you have no limitations. Yeah,
And that's true. And you can have all the resources to yourself
if
if
it's
you know how
available.
to get it. If it's available. Like if I don't need to hunt or,
Yeah,
purify my water. I mean, I could always boil water, but, as long as I have the resources, I think waking up alone and that
yeah. I
it's
imagine
not going
that
to be
if
too bad.
even if it's me,
Probably.
if you remove my memories without any those jaded experiences and just throw me into the world like that, probably I'll try to survive without my any memories prior to such event. But if you throw me the
Yeah.
current me into that world, nope, not gonna last.
Mhm. Same for me. I mean, I would probably be able
Yeah,
to if I'm younger. I don't know if I could do that right now, but I mean, I like being alone, but it in without the apocalypse, that's fine because you have a job, you can
yeah,
just go buy stuff and have food, not worry about that. But being alone in a post-apocalyptic scenario is a different matter. Like I would probably check grocery
yeah. Well,
stores
that's the
first.
best, but the best
Um,
to go to if you're looking for food.
if yeah, if there
Yeah,
still are in existence, if the
yeah,
food is still viable, a lot are
yeah.
probably
Well,
rotting away,
if this
not
is like
safe for
50 years into
consumption.
the apocalypse, like, you're not gonna find anything there.
Y- That's true. And then again, if it is 50 years into the apocalypse, I would not even be alive, probably.
I mean,
Or would be too old to
given that
really
you're alive, like,
survive. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, let's say we're born
we're born to the world
like
like
really young
post-apocalyptic.
when
I
it
mean,
started. That would be so scary though. Like, how about like
I mean,
children is going to be the hardest? Okay, I don't want to talk about the
you
children
know
part.
what? It's
Let's
gonna
just
be
let's
like
just
easier
stick with
for
the
them
adults.
actually, rather than the adult ones who remembers the past, because they were born in a world where things
Yeah,
just like that. They don't have any preconceptions.
that's true. They just
That is exactly.
take things as is. Yeah, but children are also, well, I'm not going to say they're frail,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
they're vulnerable to
yeah,
that
that's
kind
true.
of
As an
world, the
adult
dangers of
who
that world.
realize what's gonna happen to them, probably it's just hard because you know that you're the one who put them into that
Mm-hmm.
situation. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to bring a
exactly.
child
Yeah.
into
Mhm.
that world. I don't know. I don't know if it's avoidable.
I don't
People
know,
will do
but
as
I think
people do.
I don't know
But
priorities because
uh,
do you still want
yeah.
to procreate in that world,
Mm-hmm.
or you're just trying to live off life?
Yeah, that's a good point. Because then, I forgot. I read this book about um, like people lose that desire anyway when
Yeah,
they're faced with high stress, with a high stress environment like this,
yeah.
like a post apocalypse. Yeah, so I don't think that will be high on the priority list, but I don't know. I feel like even now with all the hardships that we have, there's still people who find ways to,
I
yeah,
mean, there will
to
always
do
be
that
those
and
peoples who
subject.
rather.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that would be tough. But then again, you're um helping the human race to continue on. If the child survives and you actually find a way to keep
I
them
mean,
alive
is
um
it really needed to
long
continue the human
after.
race? Yeah,
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like that's going to be the more optimistic view. Like if you're
yeah. I
really
mean,
that optimistic and you feel like there's hope for rebuilding, but
didn't they just can
yeah.
spread due to an accident? Like, I don't know. But I won't bring a life to a world
So
like that.
would there be? Yeah. Oh, definitely no.
Yeah,
Oh no, it's hard enough to survive alone and then just no. Do you think there'd be some form of so we
yeah.
did talk about communities. Would there be some form of government or
Probably
hierarchy,
there will be always
something like
hierarchy
that?
as
Or is it
our, well, us as the human, as the, yeah,
that's
as
insane? You just
evolution suggests, there will always be
yeah.
hierarchy. But the thing is that how effective will that be?
And so who would have how that yeah, so how will that work though? Like would the higher ups get the lion's share or everybody's sharing or it's gonna be different per
Yeah, I think it's
community? I
gonna be
think it's
different
gonna be
for each
different per
community.
community.
And depending what kind of people are those that
But
consist in those communities.
mm-hmm. And it's not just the leaders, it's also the rest of the community as well. Oh, have a role in shaping how their little
Yeah,
community works. Yeah.
I mean, would you really want to be a part of a community
Yeah.
that's like, I don't know, being led by a single person without any question?
No, I don't think so. Can you imagine a scenario where that
Yeah,
is
I mean,
possible though?
if
Like
that
I'm not.
person came into power with force, that is very possible. But no,
True. But he still needs to eat. He still needs to sleep, and he's gotta have like an ally, to make sure that nobody touches him when he
yeah,
or she
that's the moment
is
where
asleep.
we could like create
Because then,
a pack or a gang or a group within specific
mm-hmm,
community. So there will
yeah,
be factions, um, factions of power.
mm-hmm,
So yeah, there will be the ruling power, and then there will be other who follows it, and there will be those someone who oppose it. Probably.
yeah, yeah. And then you have your free agents just scattered around.
I mean, probably
Yeah.
there. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
So now that I was just gonna say, so now that we have, we're done building the world. Let's play
Okay.
D&D.
What's the name of the world?
No, I was just joking because it sounded so much like we were just creating this round, and I could not help myself.
Let's give you a character in a class.
But yeah,
I don't know,
in this setting,
but
mm,
your class
you
can
could
only
probably
be
limit the
like
class.
a real world, yeah, a real world
Non-spellcasters.
specialist.
Yeah, you could probably homebrew
Yeah,
something that's similar to, like have special skills, like a healer or
a herbalist,
an engineer, stuff like that.
an apothecary, something like that.
Yeah.
A hunter,
Mm-hmm.
hunter gatherer, multi-class to two different. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is it's becoming more D&D than.
Okay, let's go back to to the to the topic at hand. But really, it. I think in Fallout, that's a ranger
Yeah, sure.
because he has a
Yeah,
dog. He's got a companion. But you could have a companion dog, or maybe a water buffalo or something.
a robot.
Like, would you? Yeah, you could just grow. Um, that's gonna be hard if you have like an animal companion. How would you protect your animal companion from
I don't know.
being turned into food? Because that's that's. Would you even consider
I mean,
having an
yes,
animal
because they have better
companion?
furniture. They can track. It depends on the animal. I'm not gonna have a cat for animal companion in the post-apocalyptic world. That's just dumb. No offense to the cat persons, but
Yeah,
what will your cat do? Like bite off like
yeah. Cats would. They
yeah.
have their own. Yeah, they're pretty
So yeah,
independent.
preferably a dog
I don't know. I mean,
or a water
yeah,
buffalo or a
yeah.
horse.
A horse.
A
Yeah,
cow. I don't mind having a
horse is
cow.
is nice. Then, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can.
It's just hard to protect though. Like having an animal is
Or
going
a
to be
bull.
it's
So
your
that they can,
property and it's prime meat. Yeah. Maybe you can strike up a deal like let my animal forage
yeah,
and you can have
probably.
some
You
milk if
could,
it's a
yeah.
cow. But if yeah, trade a trade.
I can see that happening.
But then yeah. What would be the most beneficial? Yeah, I think a dog would be in, especially in like a suburban area or like in
Yeah,
cities.
dog.
Like a dog would be nice. I don't know if like a horse or a cow would survive. They would eventually need to like feed and stuff. That would be funny
Why?
though.
I don't know. Probably one.
Would you eventually?
Besides for like, probably I'm okay with having a duck, a chicken for a pet. Yeah, just for
Yeah,
emergency rations.
yeah, yeah. What would be the what would be the most optimal animal companion slash
Food.
I don't even know how to say it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
it
have to
will
accept
happen.
the fact that eventually um it will happen. As sad as that
I
may
mean,
seem. But then you could also grow something. You could also just carry some, one of those bean sprout thingies. If you're into that, if you don't want an animal
yeah, but
companion and you
how
want
long?
plants,
How long can it sustain you?
carry around a pot of
Yeah,
not
a
a
day
lot,
probably.
not a long while. That's for sure. Yeah.
You've been carrying it for 6 months and it's only lasting
Not
all
a
day.
lot.
Is that even worth it? I don't know.
What kind
Probably
of
mung beans
plants?
or red beans. I don't
Fruit
think you're killing
trees?
fruit trees to be honest.
Like what kind of
That's
plants? Yeah, you can't. But if you could
yeah.
like
I mean,
settle in a
yeah.
place,
If
it would
your
be
like
great to have.
objective is like search a farm like to plant it on, probably, but not if you are a
Hmm.
roaming hobo who just trying to survive.
Mm. Do you think they'll make something like that though? Like engineer
Like
something like genetically modify something that would like do that, like
probably,
plant based
I
that
don't
you could
know.
carry
It's kind
around
of
with you.
probably
Yeah.
not on a person. You probably need like a cart or something. Yeah, but not on
Mm-hmm.
a person. I don't see that being like being carried on a person.
Hmm. What else? Do you think people would try and
Yeah,
wield
probably.
weapons? Like, I mean, like go raid
Yeah,
guns and
yeah,
actually,
probably that's the first thing people would do. Since yeah, violence will be the first like means to an end.
just, yeah.
It is a
Man, that
dark
is a
world if you
dark
think about
world.
it. Yeah, the
Oh,
first few weeks will be just filled with violence.
but it is also real. Yeah. It's going
Yeah.
to be like morality is going to be out the door. Won't have time to think about right or wrong, just the now to the next moment. And I imagine it's going to be hard to ignore basic
Yeah, I
needs,
mean, if you have
hunger,
like a
thirst.
parent, then you have this four children. It's like you will be forced to do something.
Yeah. Yeah. That is true. And then you'd also have to make sure you're
Hmm.
sufficiently sheltered
And
from
depending
the
on how
elements.
old they are, you probably need to evaluate where or what's your next move for
Hmm.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Well, what would what's the closest approximate, like, if there's a show, a comic
Yeah.
book, a game that reflects a post-apocalyptic setting that seems, believable. Do you have
Closest
any
thing.
ideas? Would it be
I don't know.
Walking Dead,
I still see
Legend?
zombies as like non. It's not an option for, yeah, not realistic.
Not
I
Yeah,
think
not an
unless they
option.
are like a
Waterworld,
bioorganic weapon,
Fallout.
then wrong. Resident
Yeah,
Evil
like
type, but not
yeah,
that
I could see
organically.
what you
Yeah,
mean.
exactly.
Like
Engineered
augmented,
things like that. But
yeah.
who would do such a thing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why it happens because no one expected it.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You never know. You never know. I mean, if something is possible, I'm pretty sure someone
yeah.
somewhere has thought about it and, you know, or someone somewhere has started on it. I mean, this is why we have all the stuff we have. Somebody
Yep.
thought of something that's, you know, and just did
Yeah.
it.
So what show
So,
would that? Hmm.
there's Waterworld, Walking Dead. Is it Book of Eli or was it
Eli.
Eli? Mad Max.
Mad Max. I mean, Mad
Mm,
Max probably the most close to it.
mm, yeah, that's also a
Um,
crazy world.
or like
Just imagine the
Elysium, if you've
desert.
seen that movie with Matt Damon.
I actually haven't seen it.
Uh,
I haven't seen it. And then there's
not really. No.
Terminator is not really. No, it's not really a post-apocalyptic yet. They just
I
prevented
mean,
it. But yeah.
I don't really see AI as threat because of how they are engineered as of now. But probably not on a not anytime soon.
Mm, um, what about let's let's go to the good
Okay.
good feels. What's the for the best post-apocalyptic adaptation or show or game or whatever? Which one do you
Um.
like the most? Like preferably, if you were to have a post-apocalyptic, event, you'd rather that thing
Horizon Zero
happened.
Dawn, probably. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah,
What you
yeah. So
wanna
basically, what happened?
share what that is? I don't think
Spoilers
I've.
to anyone who have not um, seen the game. It's basically so an AI take over the world, and basically the AI has a function which can fuel itself by biomass. So basically, anything in this world could be a fuel. So yeah. So the entire human race um was eradicated, and the plan for them, there was a plan that so AI and AI will be fought during for time being, and until the
Mm-hmm.
like the good AI or the restoration AI won, um, humans will not be cloned back into life. So, uh, on this post-apocalyptic world, humans totally get vanished. They just get cloned so that they could repopulate Earth. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, that sounds like something
yeah. So
that's
yeah,
plausible. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So none of
clones.
them are like original uh being of the world, all of them are clones. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
going to be
at that point,
interesting.
why bother? To be honest.
Would you?
But I just for
Yeah.
you know, just not to be totally dark there. That's the best. Um,
Yeah.
how do you
Yeah.
help?
Like hypothetically,
That's the best positive.
a
Yeah,
positive
exactly.
outlook. Yeah. Cloning. So, would you allow yourself to be cloned? And what would it mean really? Because I don't think that's going to be I don't think it's going to be you with
Yeah,
all
of
your
course not.
memories and
Yeah,
everything. It's
exactly.
going to
New
be an
person.
entirely different
Um,
person. Just
I don't
just
see the
in
purpose of me
yeah.
cloning unless it will be re-engineered. So basically, that's gonna be anymore. It's just that it's based on my DNA. So yeah, a
Mm-hmm.
perfect clone. I don't see it. I don't see it as a
Yeah.
solution to anything. But an engineered clone,
Mm-hmm.
probably, because you'll just get the best parts
Yeah.
of what makes you you. Yeah. But I don't know.
That's
But I don't know.
interesting. I mean,
Um,
I don't know if I want to be
because
cloned.
it's
Yeah.
not always the perfect things that makes things the best. Sometimes it's the flaws that makes things the best. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like no, I think you're right. I mean, um people are who they are because of all the
Exactly.
collective experiences that they have. So, I mean, if you just take out those things, they may be a different person and maybe they're worst for not going
Yeah.
through those or not having those flaws that they have. And I think everything just happens for a reason and you have what you have because it's there to like make you
Yeah.
better. Yeah. Yeah, so flaws and all, yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, we did cover a lot for post-apocalyptic stuff. I don't know if we've missed anything. It
Yeah.
is a pretty dark topic. I didn't really expect. I'm to blame for that.
I mean,
I started off dark, but then
yeah. Well,
we've seen the good
post-apocalyptic.
stuff.
There's no like very optimistic way to look at it. I mean, how could you look? It's called post-apocalyptic for a reason. There's a dark thing that happened for you to be able to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah. But I think we're also
Yeah.
desensitized to that fact because of all of the media that we consume, of the stuff that we like. It's it's how
Yeah.
we would like to
It's a
imagine a
romanticized version
post-apocalyptic
of
world.
the
But
post-apocalyptic world.
unfortunately, yeah. Yeah. But hopefully we are still here and it has not happened and we can still do all the stuff that we want to do, so let's do that. Let's do what
You
makes
know
us
what's the
happy
best
and
outcome for this?
let's
Is that
just yeah.
we like
Yeah.
move our brain waves to a synthetic body and then continue living as a new person. I don't know.
That would be yeah, if they can call that as
Yeah,
cloning, I'm for it. 'Cause that would be like an
yeah,
immortality
probably
or
not
a
for
road
you,
to
but
immortality
for the new you.
thing.
Yeah. Because you're still stuck for with your old
Yeah.
um, physical
Mm-hmm.
body, subject to decay and death. But you're the new version of
Yeah.
you.
So this
Yeah.
one would be like an
Fully synthetic.
fully synthetic. So Ghost
Probably,
in a
yeah.
Shell,
Yeah.
like Ghost in a yeah,
Exactly.
something like that. Yeah, I can imagine people wanting to go that route. You know, you don't age,
I don't know. But
you don't get sick.
yeah, I
You know, you
also
don't need
see,
to be hungry. But yeah, I don't know
yeah,
though,
because I'm
because you
also
can't feel.
somehow hesitant on that because, you know, what if your synthetic self blame you for shits that happened to you? He did not wish to be brought into this world, but
Yeah,
it's just
that's
your own selfish ambition.
that is a good point, and would like to know without going through that. I'd like to know hypothetically what would happen if
Yeah.
my new self realizes, you know,
Yep.
this is not what I was hoping it would be. That's a story. That's a movie, right? Or a book. That's a book waiting to be written.
All right, we're gonna circle back soon to the dark place, so
But yeah.
we might just end it there.
Let's back up
Yeah.
and go back to a happier place. Let's take our happy pills and just yeah. Well, we what how could we veer off that and still stay on the still have some form of positive
I don't know, but what I
outlook.
take out from this is that everything
Well,
has a consequence, no matter how positive it looks. There will always be consequence to it. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I there's no
Yeah, there's no
perfect
perfect scenario. Yep.
situation. There's no ideal. Yeah. There's an ideal, and that's what we want to strive to get to. But, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Like, look at all the progress that humanity has made and has been twisted. And, you know, it's like, yeah, this was
Yeah.
created for this good purpose, but it
Well, not
has
really.
evolved and has been used
Yeah,
to
well,
do something else.
just
Yeah.
just to be dark again.
Yeah.
Most or like the
Yeah.
21st century was fueled
We're
by
just dark
the
today.
scientific achievement during the World War II. So yeah, that war was beneficial
Yeah.
in the scientific community more than what we have right now. Just saying it, yeah. Just
Yeah, that's one of those. Yeah. So
yeah, that's true.
good things can come from bad
Yeah.
things, and bad things can come from good things.
It's an equivalent
That's how the
exchange,
world
so they say.
how the world works. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know, you
Yeah,
can't really control everything, and you can only control yourself and do what you can and do your best. Really. It's kind of great how we made it it's almost a
yeah,
full year, by the way, that since this pandemic has started. And we're still here. We're
yeah,
all trying.
yeah. Try
Very rough
for the
year.
better, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, for the better. I mean, it's amazing how much people have adapted and changed. And actually, there's a lot of, you know, 180 turns for some people, and then it's crazy. It's been a crazy year.
Exactly.
Hmm. But we are all hopeful that the apocalypse is not coming
Oh,
in this lifetime. Yeah.
it's the future's problem
I-
now.
There's it.
It's the
It's
future's
high.
problem.
Basically. Yeah, so yeah, if you're listening and you are the future, yeah, you've got a lot of stuff on your plate
Yeah,
coming your way.
And I'm not
Heavy
sorry
stuff.
for it. Because I have not, I
Yeah.
have like, I'm the least person who contributed to it.
Yeah. That is true. Well, well, we all are trying. Have tried. People probably before us have tried, but they just cannot control the flow of because
Yeah.
it's en masse. It's it takes a whole it takes literally countries to make
Yeah, and
changes that would
whatever
affect the
future is
world.
dealing,
So
or whatever
yeah.
problem they're dealing, it's probably an accumulation of problems. Um, just stuck up together. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
problem that has been just a pop up. So yeah, blame your ancestors.
Yeah. Yeah. Blame them. Blame us. Yeah. But until then, just live the best life. Because that's all you really can do.
Hmm.
And at the end, whether you contributed or not, the goal is to live with as
That's
few
true.
regrets as you can. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go back to the happy place. We should talk about creating a home game
Um,
out of this.
I think
Or
there's a
like I don't know.
a module for that, but it's not D&D. Something post-apocalyptic. I'm gonna look into it.
Mhm.
Maybe we could just play it with some friends.
Okay. Yeah. Make some homebrew. It's going to be mostly homebrew, right?
Yeah, probably.
For something like this. Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. What would be a great happy topic for the next episode?
Robots.
Well, at
Robots.
least I hope
Robots. Mechanized.
romance,
Robots, no.
robots. I was
I have
I
less to
was about to say
contribute on
romance.
that one.
Same. Let's do the robots.
Semantics.
Semantics. Romantic robots. Yeah, okay, let's do robots. Mechs. Yeah, that's a good topic to start off. To continue the apocalyptic theme.
Not necessarily.
That's
Yeah.
not necessarily. Just
Yeah.
happy
Bouncing robot.
robots. Happy robots. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we will look into that. But I at least hope that you, our listeners, got something good out of this dark episode. Yeah, it's not going to be a common thing. We're gonna try and keep with the positivity, but every once in a while, a little dose of reality never hurts. Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
yeah. Do you have any closing remarks?
Um, I don't know. Just live life, or live that. Let your actions guide you to the less regrettable things that you could be. Like, as long as you're not gonna regret your actions, go for it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I agree. And that is all that we have for this episode. We hope you at least enjoyed some of it and would take away a bunch of stuff from it as well. And we hope you stay safe and stay healthy. And we will catch you again next time on our next episode. We'd like to thank a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
keeps us going. You know who you are and you know what you are. Yeah. D&D. Okay. Okay, we'll catch you again next time, and we will leave you in awkward silence.